Hi, it's Jill.
And Roxanne, and today we are going to be making turkey meatballs, oven-baked turkey meatballs. This is a great family recipe. Again, it's easy on the budget and delicious. So we've modified a couple popular recipes to make them even tastier and convenient for a busy mom. And let's get started. So to make today's, we're going to use 3 pounds of ground turkey. We need 3 eggs. Okay, we'll get one more egg out here. We got about a 1/4 cup of chopped carrots. More like a 1/3 cup, 1/3 to a 1/2, okay? We're adding in some poultry seasoning herbs. So if you go to your herb section at your local grocery store, right next to them, rosemary and sage and thyme, will be a poultry seasoning packet. Especially this time of year, it's October, they'll have it because turkey time is coming soon. It is rosemary, fresh sage, and fresh thyme. And these herbs are amazing with poultry, especially chicken, well, especially turkey. But I use them in chicken all the time. And so if you've never chopped these herbs, sage is just a fuzzy leaf. You can chop it up, it's very tender. Rosemary and thyme are both little tiny leaves on a wooden stem. And what you need to do is strip them off the stem before you chop them, because the woody stems are tough and not pleasant to have in your recipe. So just get all the tiny little leaves off and give them a quick chop to break out the essential oils in them, and that's good enough. Okay, so there's a piece of onion. We'll throw that over there with the rest. Also, we have a 1/3 cup of chopped parsley. We have a small onion chopped, and 1 bag of spinach. We're just going to chop it up, and you'll see that a bag that's about a 6-ounce bag of spinach we'll chop down into this little amount. We want to get all the stems small enough so they're not sticking out of our meatballs. So to do that, you can take your spinach. See how these long stems, if we put that in a meatball, it would stick out like a porcupine. So you just go through and it breaks down and chops real easily. Go in different directions to get all your stems. And in no time, you'll have something that looks like this. Okay? Great. So now we're going to take our ingredients and go ahead and put everything in. We're going to also be using panko breadcrumbs in this recipe. 1 cup, 1.5, I'm sorry, yes, 1.5 cups of panko breadcrumbs. We're going to use 1.5 tablespoons each of Italian seasoning and Himalayan sea salt. You can put a little pepper to taste. That's optional. Also, we're going to be putting Parmesan cheese in these meatballs. So to 3 pounds, you're going to want to use, I would say, 1/2 cup. So a 1/4 cup per, I'm sorry, 3/4 of a cup. So 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese per pound of turkey. All right, are you ready? All of these ingredients are going to get mixed in with the turkey. So let's go. Here's our small onion, chopped up, small to medium onion. Here's our 6 ounces of turkey. So that's 2 ounces per pound of turkey. And we have our carrots, 1/3 cup of carrots, rosemary, sage, thyme, and parsley. All our delicious fresh herbs, which are going to make these taste so lively and amazing. We've got 3 eggs. We're going to crack those in there. Jill's giving me a helping hand while I sneak away to get another egg. And I got to run back there and close the fridge. This is real mom life reality, guys. We just get it done, right? Okay, so 1 pound, that's 1 egg per pound of ground turkey. Now, we're going to add our crumbs and cheese. We've got a measuring cup here. So, we're gonna put 1 cup of panko breadcrumbs. You can buy these gluten-free too, so if you're a gluten-free household, You can find the gluten-free version. Dump those in. And we're going to do, and you know what? It's about 1/2 to 2/3 cup of Parmesan cheese. You don't have to be precise with this. It's going to give it an awesome flavor. And you can gauge by your family's preference for cheese. My family loves cheese in all its forms. So we're going to go closer to 2/3 here. Actually, we're gonna go ahead and go a cup because we're at 3 pounds of turkey, so 1 cup of either crumbs or cheese. So there we go. Okay. Now a tablespoon and a half to 3 pounds. Sorry guys, my original recipe was for 2 pounds, so I'm running on this Okay, yeah, we're going to just do, instead of a tablespoon and a half, we're gonna scale it back to 1 tablespoon because the Parmesan cheese has salt. So you can, Jill said, trust me, that's 3 pounds of meat in there, so don't be afraid. Also, you cannot substitute sea salt for table salt. Table salt is much saltier. So if you are using a recipe that calls for sea salt and you substitute in table salt, you're gonna be in for a sad, salty surprise. And all right, then, hi Trey. Okay, we have our little buddy over there. So now we're gonna do a tablespoon of Italian seasoning. Keeping us fine, 1 to 1.5. All right, here comes the fun part. Now we're gonna mix it all up. Jill's favorite part.
Yes.
Wash your hands and dig in, right?
Yep.
So we're just gonna mix it up a little here. Gotta get those eggs mixed. You can preheat them if you like, but I'm just gonna go in here and work it before I get it in the turkey. Work them into the cheese crumb and herb mixture. It's already smelling amazing. Can you smell that,
it's
Joan?
so good.
Oh God, fresh herbs make everything better. They just really do. If you want to take your food to the next level, just add fresh herbs. It could be that you can, whatever you're making that isn't 100% from scratch. If you just add fresh herbs in, you take it up a whole nother level. And another level in nutrition too, because fresh herbs have more nutritional value per weight than most vegetables. Herbs and sprouts, they're just nutrient dense and they taste amazing and smell amazing. Just no reason not to do it. And this is a real nice sneaky way to get your kids to eat spinach too, because it really just blends in with the flavor and you don't even taste it. You can see it when it's cooked, but you don't taste it. So it's a win-win all around.
And I just tell my kids it's herbs. I don't tell them it's spinach.
They don't need the details.
No, they do not.
Yeah, so once you get it, you really want to get it incorporated. You don't want any dead spots of the plain turkey with no flavor. So we're really just going to work our fingers in there until we have a nice consistent looking mix. You don't want to squish it real hard also. When you make your meatballs, which is what we're going to be doing, like 1.5 inch diameter meatballs, do not squish them too hard. A dense meatball isn't as nice to eat as a lightly stuck together meatball. Okay, so we're good. So this is what we're gonna do now. Once it's at this stage, you can use a mini ice cream scooper if you like, or you could eyeball it. That's 1.5 inch meatball. We're gonna do that over and over. For 3 pounds, we're gonna have maybe 75 to 90 meatballs. It's going to be a lot of meatballs.
It will be a lot of meatballs.
And what we're going to do is bake these in the oven on a sheet of parchment paper at 375 for 15 minutes. You're going to check them after that with a meat thermometer. What's key here is to try to keep the size consistent, because if you make them all different sizes, they're going to cook at different rates. You could have some that are raw in the middle while others are dry and cooked through. So do your best. If you really want, if you're going to make them bigger, I would suggest using a scale and plopping it on a piece of wax paper every time to keep them consistent. If you do them little, there's more room for error. So, but if you're going to make big giant ones, bigger than 1.5 inches, I would suggest using a scale. So even that one. All right, we're just going to keep rinse and repeat. Bake them 375 and poke them with a meat thermometer, poke a couple different separate ones. Make sure it's done. Cut one in half. And you've got turkey meatballs ready to go. Put them in your favorite pasta sauce or even barbecue sauce. And you've got dinner ready for your family. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.